last class, we had covered the topic of export trade procedure, and how the financing is done for export trade. Today, let's focus upon import trade. What is importing? It refers to purchase of foreign products for the consumption or sale in the home country, right? So basically, you're trying to import those goods and services which is not available in home country. So one of the primary example is petroleum, correct? So we are trying to import petroleum because we do not have a source of the same oil or source of petroleum in our home country. So therefore, what is importing? Where you purchase those goods from the foreign country either for your own consumption or for sale in the home country. Import procedure. Now, this is quite similar steps to be followed as we have discussed in the export procedure. Now, if you have listened carefully to export procedure, this topic will look very, very simple to you. So let's start with procurement of import license. You remember, export procedure also started with export license or IEC number. So the first thing you as an importer must have is IEC number, that is nothing but importer's license. And then we have inquiring and placing the indent. So there we have inquiry and offer. Here we have inquiry and placing the indent. So what happens here? So here we are going to inquire various foreign countries about the goods that we need to import, right? And then we are going to decide upon once we are satisfied with the quality, product, the details given by the exporter, we place a indent. In short, we place a order for importing those certain goods. Next, we have obtaining foreign exchange. Remember this point because when you are importing from a foreign country, or every international trade transaction involves foreign exchange or involves different currencies, right? We have dollars, we have Australian dollars, we have Japan's yen, right? We have Dubai's dirhams, right? So we are dealing with various currencies. So based on the order that you have placed, as an importer, you'll be forming or you'll be obtaining relevant foreign exchange. And then you need to do the fourth step, arranging the letter of credit, right? So this is a very important step to be taken by the importer. Now here just observe, you are having a transaction with a person or with a company that is completely unknown to you, right? You haven't met or you haven't known personally, but you are having a transaction beyond your country's borders for a huge sum of money. So that cannot be done by a blind trust, isn't it? So there needs to be a strong, guarantee or a support to say that yes, if I'm going to export the goods to so and so country, I will receive my money. So what is the guarantee that stands over there? That is when the topic comes of letter of credit. So as you see on the picture over there, right? So there's an importer, there's an exporter, there's an issuing bank and confirming and financing bank. So these three institutions are involved, okay? Importer, exporter and a bank is involved. What is the role of bank in this transaction? Bank is going to act as a guarantee and signifying that this importer is belonging to this particular home country citizen, and we are going to stand as a guarantee for the payment the importer has to make. So what in case the importer does not make the payment? Then I will make the payment. That is what the issuing bank is trying to say. Okay, so letter of credit will enable the importer to complete the transaction even though right now he cannot pay, the banker will pay on behalf of him, and later the importer can pay to the banker. So who is the confirming bank on the other side? In the exporter's country, right? There has to be a bank that is confirming that the letter of credit is a genuine one. The letter of credit is a trustworthy one, right? That's not a fake document or a fake promise or trustworthiness. It is a genuine one. So importer has to what? Arrange for a letter of credit. Then we have obtaining necessary documents. Now we have bill of exchange. Now we know when does a bill of exchange occur? Only when there is a credit sale or when there is a credit purchase. So since we are talking about import trade, we are talking about credit purchase. So you promise to purchase now. You purchase now and promise to pay later. So therefore you will be needing the bill of exchange as a promise that you will pay in the later point of time. Now you know what is bill of lading. We just discussed in the export trade, correct? So bill of lading is issued by the shipping company or the port authority. So basically they're trying to acknowledge that the goods have been received on board, right, as a cargo for shipment. Then we have custom formalities, right? Custom formalities and clearing of goods. So after receiving the necessary documents, then the importer has to receive the goods. So the customs, that is the port authority, will do again a thorough checking, right, once it reaches the importer's country and then hands over the goods to the importer. What's next step? The importer has to make the payment to on the terms agreed upon mutually. And then the final one is the transaction becomes completed or the transaction is closed. So these are the 9 different steps or procedure for an import trade. Next, let's understand what are the documentations required for import trade. The first one is the invoice. Now we all know first before importing you need to inquire and then place a indent, okay, for which you will be receiving an invoice, okay. Who is issuing the invoice? The exporter, okay. The seller is going to give the invoice or the bill to the buyer, that is the importer. Next we have the packing list. So who is doing the packing of goods in the import trade? It is the exporter. So therefore, this list is being prepared by the exporter. Number 3, bill of lading. That is again issued by the shipping company as we just discussed, right? So the shipping company will be issuing the bill of lading, right, as an acknowledgement that the goods are on board. Then we have the bill of entry. It is a declaration accepted by the customs department, right? So bill of entry, it is also known as single goods declaration. You can see it in the picture that is there on the screen, right? So it's an electronic declaration that is signed as well as accepted by the customs department, okay? So there it is a proof that the goods have been received. Next we have number 5, insurance certificate, right? So either the importer will take it or either the exporter will take insurance for the goods that has been exported as mutually agreed upon. Number 6 is certificate of inspection, right? That the goods have been checked for the quality, checked according to the invoice while before they move the goods into the ship, okay. So that's called as something called as maybe pre-shipment inspection, right? So that certificate has to be issued and confirming that as the buyer or as the importer has demanded, so the goods have been manufactured and shipped across. Number 7, certificate of origin, because I want to make sure that where or in which country has these goods been manufactured. So the country where these goods originated is supposed to be given in the form of certificate. And 8, we have non-preferential certificate of origin. Now, what does this say? It attests the origin of products and do not confer to any tariff preferences. Let's say these two countries, that is the exporters country as well as the importers country, do not have any specific trade agreements. So therefore, they do not have preferences for tariff, or therefore they're not eligible. On the other side, we have preferential certificate of origin, right, where once that is the place of origin certificate, they might get certain preference for tariff, right? So they'll be eligible for tariff. So these are the 9 different documents that is important for import trade procedure. So what did we cover today? We understood what is import trade, right? We understood the import procedure. How many steps? 9 different steps. And the documents required for import trade. Again, we have 9 different documents.